Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Doesn't sound like this is working, but it's working through the internet. Well, I have 3 points in the message. I'm going to preach a sermon, by the way. Not really. But the message is there are 3 parts. What is a magnetic loop antenna? And secondly, the construction of it. And thirdly, the operation of it. And they'll sort of all be joined together. Well, I read all of the websites that you saw, that last website up there about a magnetic loop. And I learned a lot about them. And they're very, very interesting antenna. You're going to see in a few moments that this antenna is receiving stations right here from all over the country. And in fact, yesterday, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. But let me tell you a little bit about what it is. Now, this is the Bible, if you will, about magnetic loop antennas. It's 32 pages, 33 pages long, by an amateur. I'm going to give him credit now, and this is on the website, isn't it, Steve?
Yes, it is.
By Lee Turner, VK5KLT. He's the one that, so just go to almondtree.com and you can get this. But it's 33 pages. And it literally, he knows so much about it, it's like reading Greek. But let me tell you a few things about what he said about the magnetic loop antenna. He said it's one of the best kept secrets, or it seems to be one of the best kept secrets in amateur radio community, and how well a small magnetic loop antenna can really perform in practice compared with very large high-frequency antennas. And I found that to be true. Also, a properly designed, constructed magnetic loop antenna, 1 meter in diameter. This is 1 meter in diameter. It's 10 feet around, or approximately 3 feet in diameter and 10 feet around. By the way, this antenna is 4 billion years old. You got quiet. Do you know why it's 4 billion years old? That's the age of the earth. And this copper came out of the earth. And who made the earth? God made the earth, and he made this copper, and he made the antenna in essence, okay? I want to give him credit for that anyway. But listen what it says here. 1 meter in diameter, or approximately 3 feet, will equal and oftentimes outperform any antenna except a tri-band beam, 10 meter, 15, or 20 meter bands, and will at worst be within an S point, or 6 dB or so of optimized monoband 3-element beam. So that tells you a little bit about it. Now, a couple of other things, and we'll tell a little bit about it, that he said, why doesn't everybody have one of these if there's such great antennas? Well, there are several reasons why, and I won't get into all the reasons why everybody doesn't have one, but they're too simple. It's too simple. They're so simple it's hard to believe they do what they do. But they have what's called a very high Q, and which means that they're pretty hard to tune, especially if you have to tune by hand, and that's how I had to, and I'll show you how I tune it in just a few minutes. But you can get motors, small motors, that turn about 1 revolution per minute forward and backward, and you can turn the variable capacitor that I have here. But that's some of the information about it. There's a lot of theory on it. There are a lot of formulas on it. One of the ways, here's how it works. Current flow through the loop's radiation resistance results in RF power being converted or transmitted into electromagnetic radiation. Now what happens, this is the inner loop. It's not connected to this at all. this is 24 inches, and this goes directly into the transceiver. So it's like, to me, I was a little worried about, I called Steve. I said, Steve, I'm concerned about, it's like I'm transmitting into a short circuit. It's not a dipole here. It's in effect a closed dipole. And so it's about maybe a quarter of an inch from this. So this is, it radiates from here, and I understand that if you put about maybe 20 watts of power in here, this can go up as high as 2,000 volts of RF energy. So there's a warning, you don't want to be too close to it. And we were going to try to make some contacts down here, and I believe we could have, but because of people may have some heart problems or heart, you're wearing something, yeah, and we wouldn't want to disturb his heart rate monitor there. But anyway, these things generate a lot of RF current. And so we're going to show you a little bit more here, but that's a little bit more about how we've set up. Let me get into the construction here. Okay. First of all, I want to thank Gene Bowman and Don for giving me 2 capacitors, variable capacitors to use. This one here was given to me by Don. This capacitor will go from about 20 picofarads to 750 picofarads. Now we have it tuned right now at approximately 200 picofarads. And so now another thing, I brought this idea to Harold. I said, Harold, I want to build it. So I bought this 10-foot 3/4 inch pipe that I bought from Lowe's for about $15. I bought the PVC tubing here. I paid about $2 for that. So and it was given to me, Don, the variable capacitor, and the loop here probably cost this is just solid copper. So I probably got less than $20 in the whole thing with the gift of the capacitor or capacitors. And now here's what happened. I took it to him and I said, will you help me build it? He built it. I didn't get to build it. I watched him build it. And he is a master builder. If you look at how this thing is put together, I helped him. I did help him make the circle. There's how many of you ever seen a metal bender? Several of you seen one? Okay. Well, that thing makes a beautiful circle. By the way, this is not divided up here. It's in 2 sections. Right here, 2 sections, and the variable capacitor is right in between the variable capacitor. And you tune it by turning, I don't know whether, yeah, you tune it by turning this bar right here. And if you get too close to this, it'll mess up the capacitance here. And so you have to be back and you have to turn it real slow. And then once you get it in resonance, and we're going to show you how to get it in resonance. By the way, I had it on 80 meters yesterday afternoon. Talked to a guy in Atlanta, Georgia. This was sitting in my study. And he called me. I don't want to tell you what he called me, but he said my signal wasn't too strong. And I had to really check my faith in God to keep from getting back at him, but he was one of those smart alecks about my signal strength. It wasn't very strong. I told him I was only running 40 watts. All right, let's see. We're going to tune this antenna.
Okay.
Let's tune the antenna.
Let's do this, Doc. Let's turn it around so it's near you.
Okay. All right, I'm going to tune it to show you how to do it. There's several ways to do it. One, you put your transceiver, where the transceiver is sitting on 7 megacycles. Turn up the volume louder. And you tune it this way. Hear it go down. See, I went past it. Go back. All right, that's simply how easy it is to. Now this is just about in resonance with the frequency. The antenna's in resonance with the radio. Now you can fine tune it, and I have an MFJ over here to fine tune it even more. If you have an automatic antenna tuner, you can even refine the tuning in your transceiver. All right, let's go to the transceiver. All right, this is live. Up here, you'll see the signals coming in, hopefully. This is the digital program for FT8 digital mode, which stands for Frankie. The last name is Frankie. The last name is Taylor, FT8 FSK. And this, what happens, this software, we're going to have a program coming up, I think, in March on this, so I don't want to take too much. Is this live right here?
I may have to restart it real quick.
Okay. February next month we're going to see it? Okay. I'm not going to go in. I just want to show you how it's working. And then I'll show you some contacts we made. Then we'll take any questions. This is the software. This is the rave right now. Thousands and thousands of amateurs are using this free software. Who's doing the program, by the way? Who's doing the digital program?
A guy named Brian, AB4BC.
Coming in? Okay.
Okay, the waterfall's starting now.
All right, this is 40 meters. Here, down here is where you transmit. When you get ready, you just put that little red and green thing, move that where you want to on the band, and you click this and you start transmitting automatically. You call CQ, here's calling CQ, it's all, and once you start, somebody answers you back, the software automatically picks up the station and starts sending the DB report and RRR, the grid, and 73, and you can add some other things. I put God bless you on mine when I talk to somebody. It's not picking up anybody.
It is. There's down in there.
Yeah, here's one. Yeah, here's a CQ, KI6. Where is KI6? It's picking up California. That shows you what this thing will do. Somebody do QRZ and we can find out who he is.
What's it called?
KI6DY. And we probably could make a contact with him. Now imagine if this is outside in the open, you'd have stations coming in all over this place. No, we don't sterilize anybody tonight. Now he's transmitting. Oh! Turn it off.
I'm trying. Thanks, Harold.
Did you feel that? Did you feel anything?
My hair's curled now.
Yeah, his hair is curled down a little bit.
He's in Wichita.
All right.
I was right here in line with
the way, this thing transmits this way.
Oh, good. Hey, Dave,
This way.
it's all over for you, dude.
Safe distance is 6 feet. I'll get out the tape measure. We'll
But
find out who's in danger.
It's safe about 12 feet, actually, about 12 feet.
You
But
might
they
be all right
say,
then.
pictures are, if you do it at about a 45-degree angle, you get the lift off, you get a lot better DX at about 45 degrees. But this works beautiful. Let's show him what happened this afternoon.
A little earlier this evening, when we first set it up, we had a little stronger signal. We were getting all kinds of different calls, but it looks like the band's dropped off some.
Anybody look up KI-60Y?
Wichita, Kansas.
He's in Kansas, okay. Now this is, how many of you have heard of PSK reporter? Raise your hand. You've heard of PSK. Half of you have not. Okay. What this is, if you have, if you send out a digital signal, which I did, and here's the results. I sent out a digital signal. All of these little blues, and that's 6 hours ago, I sent this signal out. And it'll show you my call letters. Show them my call letters.
Oh, okay.
It'll show you the call letters of the stations these are monitoring stations. So you see WB4, QIZ, BE9,
That's
and
Canada.
it's 7,074 miles, how many miles is it?
964 miles, no,
Down up distance.
626
kilometers.
kilometers,
Bearing, okay.
but
Using-
that's about 1,500 miles.
Yeah. Now that's in the afternoon. In the evening, when the shadow comes across the country, then your DX and probably Australia, Hawaii, and all those stations can come in. Look at some of the others that came in. And I think my station becomes a monitoring station also. But you get here's the distance, 899 miles, frequency, there I am, picked up by WB0 RPF, using W and so forth. And his antenna was a Stepper Big IR, is his antenna. And this is free. If you want to check out your signal, if you send out a digital signal, you can see what you're doing. Any other comments on that? That you can think of?
This is, as far as this right here, this, the PSK reporter, that's a website you go to, and you put in your information that you want the filter
Oh,
by
yeah.
up here.
Yeah, let me show them that. I go to 40 meters. See, you go,
All bands,
yeah, just go to 40 meters right here.
yeah.
So you pick out the band that you're transmitting on, which was 40 meters, and show signals sent by, and then the call sign, my call sign, using FT8, and drop down FT8 so they can see the other thing. Those are all the different, you can pick up CW. If you send out a CW signal, it'll pick this up. CW, all of these down, Riddy, Olivia, JT9, PSK32, and a lot of others. And then you just get the last 12 hours. And there are other display options out there. It's a free, it's a great, look, there are 765 active FTA monitors on 40 meters right now.
All the blue dots without a time bound represent a monitoring station that's
Right.
reporting signals that he's receiving. And in fact, we're reporting the guy that you just saw on the call sign. If we go in and check my call sign is who's reported, and I reported him, because the FT8 software, one of the options is PSK reporter turned on.
Okay. Show logbook there. That's your logbook though, isn't it? Isn't that your logbook?
I'm not sure, Doc.
Well, you picked this up on your computer.
Yeah, but that's your call sign that's in there.
That's true. Well, these are my contacts. I don't think I made that many.
You received that thing.
Yeah, I received that many. And this gives you the distance, the time, and all the different, you can work 48, 50 states in a short time. All right, I think we're going to stop there.
In here, one of the options in it,
This is the software here. I'm pretty sure that was you. You just picked up my signals, but those are your stations. They're not mine.
well, no, that's the
I-
PSK reporter. That's got to be you. We'll check real quick. Oops.
What are you doing?
If we go over here under this
Yeah.
and say,
Let's leave this. Because our time, how much time we got? Couple of minutes?
Out of time, we won't hear
We're out of time. Any questions? Any questions?
Are you going to use this as a practical
Sure.
thing?
Yeah, what I'm thinking about is putting this in my attic. If I put it in my attic and I put an antenna, something to motorize it, yeah, I don't have to go up in the attic. Another thing is you could get it so you could turn it because it is directional. So if I had it in my attic, say I live in a retirement community, and any day they can come and say, Doc, you got to take down your G5 RV. Well, I'm not going to tell them I've got one of this in the attic, you see. But yeah, I'm going to use it, sure. Any other questions?
One thing you guys might want to think about is if you're thinking about FTA, you might want to go on to the logbook of the world, sign up early because it takes about 2 weeks to get that to go through before. And if you don't do that, a lot of these guys on FTA, when you make a contact, they don't like you because it's not recorded because they're trying to get a certificate or a country that they need, and they're not really happy with you if you don't have the logbook set up. So you might want to just set that up. It takes about 2 weeks to get that back.
Okay. Any other questions?
Doc,
Yeah.
look at the last one in the list.
Oh, what's that?
80 meters.
Okay.
He's sending
Oh, somebody's doing this on 80 meters now. Okay.
the word up. He's saying shift your transmit up. It'll do 20 through 80 with that capacitor on it.
Yep.
Maximum power.
Yeah, I think it'll run.
Well, with the FT8, I don't run any more than 10 watts.
You're asking, well, how many watts will this variable capacitor?
Capacitor's probably good. How about that?
It'll do 100 watts.
It'll do 100 watts. This capacitor may not do 100 watts. I haven't tried it. It's 2 kV rating. Well, thank you guys. We appreciate your attention.
We did show you.
What?
I was thinking we hadn't shown
Okay.
the PSK reporter.
Yeah, we did.
Sorry about that.
And thank you too.
Moment.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Doc.
Yeah.
And again, more information on this loop and other loops, plenty of it out there on the internet. But go to Steve's website, almondtree.com. Has nothing to do with almonds or trees. It's all ham radio stuff. Dale, where's Dale? I saw him earlier. Dale, do you have a repeater for us, sir? a repeater report for us.
Repeater report is 47, as most of you know. Say last 145. This works just as good on either end, right? Is it on? Okay, you can hear it. The 145-47 machine, folks, for those of you that may not have been here in the last month or so, of which I was one, was moved from the Saratown Mountain location because there's construction that was taking place, some rather comprehensive construction where our building was that the repeater was housed in was directly under the main power lines that WXI needs to go ahead and change over their systems, including something as comprehensive as perhaps moving their large antenna, which is what, 850 feet down, somewhere in that. No? So that's going to take place for quite a while. We had first thought it would be till within the March 2018 time frame, but after talking with Michelle Butt, the president general manager of WXII, she says it could take up to 2 years, maybe a little bit further than 2 years. So during that time, Jerry Miner, K4GW, was gracious enough to allow us to relocate the machine to his site, which is down near Davidson County line, was at Hickory Tree Road and 52, roughly in that area. So the antenna is no longer 2,500 feet to the tip of the antenna. It's probably more like, what, 120 feet to the tip of it. And the elevation there is, what, about 9, 10 above sea level? So we lost a couple thousand feet in terms of the elevation, and because of that, some of the coverage is down. Now it covers, from what I understand, pretty good in the Forsyth County area and the surrounding counties, but getting stations from the Virginia area, which we had for the Vagabond net, they can no longer get in. So right now, this was the first position the repeater has been put in. There's going to be some changes made to it in the coming months, I hope, where we can possibly improve the coverage. I won't go into the details of that, but hopefully it will get better. During that time, the Vagabond nets moved to 147.315, thanks to Jerry's graciousness. So that kind of covers 4.7. 4.7 still does have the Echolink node attached to it, which is, pardon my back, which is located in my home out in Clements. So you still could get in with Echolink coverage. However, there's no Echolink coverage to the 147.315 machine. Now the other two repeaters the club has is the 146.64 machine and the 444.275 machine, both of which are located in the penthouse of Baptist Hospital. The 6.4 machine is working okay, although there's some pretty significant pager issues out at the hospital, I believe by one of the pagers at the hospital, i.e. our host. So there's going to be an ongoing effort to see how we can get rid of that interference, so the coverage is rather diminished on it. The 444.75 machine, it's a new repeater that's set up. The range is not that good, probably about 4 miles, same issue. We've got some issues with the coverage interference. So we're hoping to get that fixed soon, but during that time we just appreciate your patience, during the holidays, and then also some personal medical activities in our family, haven't been able to spend much time up there. So does anybody have any questions?
You didn't mention single-digit temperature, too.
Oh yeah, from what I understand, I was just telling Gene Bowman early, usually when you work with antennas and in this weather, you don't need an SWR bridge. You just throw something up and it's flat SWR. It's a nice sunny day. You could measure it to length and use an SWR bridge, and I've always had high SWR, so better to put up an antenna in the cold. That's kind of true for those of you that didn't ham radio for a while. So see, the other thing, if we switch over to testing, we did not have testing tonight. It's generally the second Monday of every month except for December. So this is probably the first time in 10 years I haven't been late for a meeting. Got here early. But we'll have that in February 12th, same time, and continuing the second Mondays of the month going forward. So thanks again, folks. It should. That'll be kind of precarious getting up there. That thing's pretty heavy, but
Yeah, right now it's not a good time.
yeah, this is probably not a good time with the weather that's swinging up
done, sorry. Before I forget about it, for anybody that's interested in one of these, I have the ring roller to roll their loops, and it takes about an hour. And you'll have to come to my workshop to get it done. I'm still not traveling.
Okay.
David, can I say something, please?
Yes, sir.
Ken, Ken Kaiser is my guest, K2, KDK? KXK. He's my guest here tonight, and we're also fellow pilots, remote control airplanes.
Very good. Welcome, Ken. Glad to have you, sir. Okay, just a couple other things. We have newsletters. A lot of information in the newsletter, and yeah, I'm being communicated with apparently. There's a layout here of our Hamfest, and one of the things that we're going to discuss at our meeting next week is Hamfest in October. There's been some interest in that. And so in order to do that, we need a couple of things. First thing we need to do is nail down the dates, and then we've got to have people to sort of facilitate that. Now what that means is we contact, well, we got a checklist that we work off of. So we need somebody to work those checklists. We'll need people to help. And I think all of this can happen. It's not a big deal. We got a great place to have the Hamfest for those of you who were there. And what was it, a Sunday or so, Steve, after we had our meeting or had our Hamfest, that the water pipe broke in the bathroom and flooded about half of that room in there. So we had a great day. It was great, wonderful. But anyway, that's what we'll discuss at our business meeting next week, among other things. And like Dale said, we'll work on the repeater later. That's pretty much all I have. Anybody have anything else? Yes, you want to step up here, or you want to just sit there?
Sit here.
Well, use this.
Oh, I'm gonna say just the Aries net has been moved to the 147-315 machine for the interim as well. And we thank Jerry for letting us use that for that purpose.
And we do appreciate it, Jerry. That's a good machine. It's got good coverage. Yes, sir, Mr. Kippy.
Well, I would just like to thank all the people who came out and worked the Hamfest, because without y'all coming out and doing that, bringing people in, taking people back out, showing people where to park, all those things, taking tickets. If we didn't have all the people that we had working, we wouldn't